Support for IPR comes from Hands in Harmony, a therapeutic healthcare facility with a splash of spa and a team of holistic healers to help in the quest for health, harmony, and happiness. Cedar Rapids and Mount Vernon. Classes, massage, and more at myhih.com.
It's Talk of Iowa from IPR News. I'm Charity Nebbe. A love song from your past can transport you to a different time or place. It can ignite memories and enhance emotions. And according to at least one study, approximately 67% of all song lyrics written in the last 60 years are about love. Today, we are celebrating love and Valentine's Day, just a little bit early. Steinway artist, pianist, and composer Dan Knight is here today. He is sitting at a keyboard provided by West Music in Coralville. And when you call today or email your story, Dan will play your song. But you have to tell a story. This is not a straight up request show. You share your story. Dan will play the song. If he knows it, you can call 866-780-9100 or email talkofiowa@iowapublicradio.org. 866-780-9100. The email is talkofiowa@iowapublicradio.org. Dan, welcome back.
Oh, it's so good to be here.
It's wonderful to have you, and happy early Valentine's Day.
Well, thank you. Same to you. Thank you. And thank you for moving the schedule around. So we're planning to do this on Valentine's Day, but something interceded. So we could not do this show.
It's never a bad time to celebrate love.
There you go. Exactly.
And, it is that statistic. I don't know how scientific it is, but 67% of all song lyrics are about love. That rings true to me. And if you look back through time,
I think it's probably even more, basically, because everything is about either the love that you have or the love that you lost, or the love that you don't have and wish you had. So if we put those three categories together, then that includes just about everything. So especially in pop music and standards and all of that. So we're good to go.
And as people think about their love songs and make that call, let's put some parameters on what they might want to request, because you're probably not going to play Ed Sheeran or Taylor Swift today.
Probably. I wish I could, because she was one of those people I just disregarded, basically because she was so famous and there was so much hype around her. And then I started watching these interviews and listening to actual things that she has done. She's for real.
Yeah. Well, maybe next year you'll come with a whole bunch of Taylor Swift songs.
So I'm going to have to learn some Taylor Swift, but she has transferred my disdain into absolute adoration almost, So.
You and a lot of other people.
Yeah.
So, Dan may not know your song, but we'd still love to hear your story. And do you want to put a year on it? Maybe don't request songs after.
Well, let's just shoot it.
Okay.
We'll see what happens.
All right.
Because some of these love songs are absolutely timeless.
Absolutely.
And even if they aren't, then because they're a love song, then they become that way. So,
do you have a story to start us off with, Dan?
Yeah, I do. There's a song I used to sing to myself before. Well, let's put it this way. I was married in 1981 and then had a little boy in 1982 who died in 1983, and we got divorced in 1984. And the whole process was just so ugly at times. I used to play for weddings and go to places, and I would walk up to the groom and I'd say, if I was playing for a rehearsal dinner, I would say, what time is your wedding tomorrow? He'd be at 7 o'clock. And I said, well, what time is it now? 6:30, 7 o'clock. They said, you could be in another country.
Oh, no.
Nobody will ever know. And then I would tell folks, I would say, I never knew what happiness was till I got married. Then it was too late.
No.
Yes, that actually made it into Reader's Digest. Laughter, the best medicine. But so I used to sing this song to myself. When I fall in love, it will be forever. So I said, okay, I'm going to wait until I find my one true love. And then when I find my one true love, I'm not going to fill the backyard up with ex-Mrs. Knights. So this is what I would sing. When I fall in love, it will be forever, or I'll never fall in love. in a restless world like this is. Love is ended before it's begun, and too many moonlight kisses seem to cool in the warmth of the sun. When I give my heart, it will be completely, or I'll never give my heart. And the moment I can feel that, you feel that way too, is when I'll fall in love with you. So love is a sacred thing, you know. It's just we give it away all the time. And the more you give, the more you get. But when you give your heart, you know, there've been a couple of people here who I feel I can do that with, and it's just the most blessed thing. And when they give it back, it's even better. So here we go, folks. On the road.
All right. And of course, your one true love is across the window from us listening to that right now.
We can have that. And my one true love, Julie, is here sitting right across from me under the window. And I think I have another true love here sitting right across from me at the same time, you know, different kind of thing, but it's still true.
Well, let's get to the phones. We have a lot of people who want to share their love stories. And if you want to share your love story and request a song, you can give us a call, 866-780-9100. Send email to talkofiowa@iowapublicradio.org. Richard is on the line in Des Moines. Hi, Richard. Richard, are you there?
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Hey, Richard. Good morning.
I didn't know it was going to be live. Oh, good morning to you both.
Good morning. What's your story?
Well, my story is when I used to live out in California, I worked for a big aerospace company, and we sang as a choir different times of the year. But in the summertime, we did solos and ensembles. And my parents lived here in Des Moines. They came out for a visit. I got them to come into our show, and I dedicated Evergreen, the song that Barbra Streisand wrote from A Star Is Born, and I sang that solo to them as a tribute to them for their love.
Oh,
how
that's
cool.
just beautiful.
Yeah. So it's not at Valentine's, but it's a lovely story.
Yeah, that counts.
That's the truncated version for radio.
Richard, thank you so much for sharing your story. And yes, we are not limited to romantic love today. Whoever you love, we'd love to hear your story and your song. 866-780-9100 is the number. And Yancey's on the line in Rock Island, Illinois. Hi, Yancey.
Hello. My story is my wife and I, Jill, have been together now 44 years. At our wedding, I sang to her the first verse of Always and Forever. It was done by the group called Heat Wave. The song came out around 1977-78 time frame. And I play the song every now and then, but since I caught your program this morning, I just had to give you a call. We were married there in Des Moines, and we're both graduates of Iowa State.
So,
fantastic.
Yeah, that's how many years together?
44.
44 years. That's wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yancy, thanks so much for the call. And let's try to squeeze in one more story before the break. Sue's on the line in Iowa City. Hi, Sue.
Hi.
Hi, what's your story?
Well, my husband was a big baseball fan. And so on the day before our wedding, when we were having our rehearsal, I had an idea to change the recessional. So I asked the organist, who was a friend of mine, if she would play Take Me Out to the Ball Game. And she said,
Oh, cool.
I can't do that. This is a church. And so I called the minister over, and he said, oh, I love baseball. Sure. So she played it, and my husband was surprised. But I think only one guest recognized it. Because at the reception, or maybe they were just that surprised. At the reception, a rotisserie baseball friend of his called me over and he said, was that Take Me Out to the Ball Game at the end of the wedding? And I said, yes, it was.
Oh, that is a wonderful story, Sue. And so much more memorable than most of the recessionals.
See, I have a baseball story for you.
Except we've got to
even remember what
except we've got to play this.
Yeah, we've got a break coming up. So, Sue, thank you so much. Celebrating Valentine's Day with pianist and composer Dan Knight this hour. This is Talk of Iowa.
Support for IPR comes from Hands in Harmony, a therapeutic healthcare facility with a splash of spa and a team of holistic healers to help in the quest for health, harmony, and happiness. Cedar Rapids and Mount Vernon. Classes, massage, and more at myhih.com.
Black perspectives haven't always been centered in the telling of America's story. Now, we're taking center stage. Introducing NPR's Black Stories, Black Truths, a collection of Black-led stories from NPR's podcasts. Search NPR Black Stories, Black Truths wherever you get your podcasts.
It's Talk of Iowa from IPR News. I'm Charity Nebbe. This hour, we are celebrating Valentine's Day and love of all kinds with pianist and composer Dan Knight. He is sitting at a keyboard provided by West Music in Coralville. And here's how you get Dan to play. You call or email and share your love story, and Dan will play your song. Give us a call, 866-780-9100. You can send email to talkofiowa@iowapublicradio.org. And let's go to Robin on the line. Hi, Robin.
Hi, Charity. Hi, Dan.
Hey, Robin. Good morning.
Good morning. I was 18 years old in 1970 and newly at college, and I was in love with the idea of being young and maybe hopefully falling in love. And Elton John was brand new on the music scene, and his song, Your Song, just took me to daydreams all day long at Iowa State, thinking about finding that one person who would sing that song to me. I'm happy to report that I'm 71 years old now, and I have found the dear love of my life who's sitting at the kitchen counter here with me, and he certainly sings to me.
Oh, Robin, thank you so much.
a great song.
It is a great song. And kind of the epitome of what you think falling in love should feel like. Robin, thanks so much for that call. Rachel's on the line next in Mason City. Hi, Rachel.
Actually, this is Rachel Gulick in Des Moines, Iowa.
Hey,
Okay,
Rachel,
well,
good
hi,
morning.
Rachel. What's
Good
your
morning.
story?
Well, I'm coming to you live from I'll Make Me a World's Education Day at Horizon Event Center. Just want to give a shout out there. But my story is a story of the love of music itself and how that was instilled in me by my grandparents and throughout my entire life. And
What a wonderful gift.
absolutely. I think it's such an incredible outlet for us as humans to be able to find through music the words that we may lack in being able to express ourselves to each other and how much we care and love one another. But my grandfather used to sing this song, Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer true. And so, whenever I hear that or, a variety of songs that family has sung over the years, it just really allows me to celebrate their memory and remember the love that we shared, no matter if they're with us near, far, or, on another journey in their life. So that's my story.
So that song takes me to my grandfather. My Grandpa Knight was a blacksmith, and he was a great Irish tenor. He was 45 years old when my father was born. So my grandmother was 43. So my dad was this little child, and he grew up to teen years during the early parts of the war. And they were on the road, on a bus, on the way to California to visit my aunt and to attend her wedding. And they were in the middle of Topeka, Kansas, and it was 3 o'clock in the morning between Saturday and Sunday morning, and the American Legion Drum and Bugle Corps showed up, and they were all stinking damn drunk.
Oh, no.
So my grandmother was a teetotaler. She was absolutely certain that they were in the midst of hell. And my grandfather said, "Hey, buddies, I'll bet you can't play Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer due." So my grandfather stood on a chair and sang along with the drunken bugle corps, Daisy, Daisy. So that's the irascibility. That's my beautiful grandfather. That's where I come from.
Rachel, thank you so much for that call. And now let's go to someone you know, Dan. Ashley is on the line in Iowa City. Hi, Ashley.
Oh, hey, Ashley.
Hi, Charity. Hi, Dan. Dan, I don't know if you remember me, but I'll tell this story. So I grew up playing piano, and the very first jazz standard I ever learned was Misty by Errol Gardner. And I had met Dan when I was probably 11 or 12 years old. He used to play piano for my dad's Christmas parties at the University of Iowa.
Yes, I sure did. Oh, I'm so happy you remember that. Oh, dear God, that's so cool.
Of course. Well, I mean, that's where the story comes from, too. I think I remember you. I believe you came to our house. The memory is a little hazy. And I played Misty for you on the piano. And I remember, I was this tiny little thing, and you reached around and you added a bass line and you did some improvisation up top.
God.
And it was just one of those kind of life-changing moments for me.
I remember it
I still have a love of music, and I'm still teaching music now, in part because of you.
Oh. You just made my whole year. That was, I remember everything. I remember all of it because it was so dear. And you were so confident, but so touched at the same time because I said, "Can I play a bass line?" So I just put my hands around you and you sat at the bench and you just absorbed it. It was like, you were a duck in water, like all of a sudden you'd found your place. And I was so honored to be there. And I'm so happy that it touched you that way.
I'm so glad you remember.
Oh, how could I forget? So I have to play. for Ashley.
866-780-9100 is the number for you to call with your story. You can also send email to talkofiowa@iowapublicradio.org. Dawn is on the line next in Waterloo. Hi, Dawn.
Good morning, Charity and Dan.
Hey, Dawn, good morning.
I'm loving this show.
Oh.
What's your story, Dawn?
So my partner and I have been together for 40 years. And we really didn't have a song when we started. We might laugh and say, hey, that's our song. That's our song. But we were at a wedding about 20 years ago, and we were slow dancing to a song by Joe Stafford called You Belong to Me. Oh. And that had such significance for us because he's a farmer, and he is really Iowa-bound. My job has taken me all over the world, and when we heard the song, You Belong to Me, we looked at each other and said, this is our song. And every now and then we'll still cue it up and have a lovely slow dance in our living room.
Oh, that's beautiful,
Well, here
Dawn.
comes slow dance time.
Thanks so much for the call, Dawn. And we've got a different kind of love story here. This is ML in Cedar Rapids. Hello.
Hello. Thank you.
Yeah.
There are many people I've loved in life, but one of my great loves was my dog, Coco, my husky. And I would play the piano, and she would sing.
Oh.
Did she have favorite songs? I love this.
She did. She did. She really liked Don't Get Around Much Anymore and Ain't Misbehavin'.
She had excellent taste. And so she was a husky. Would she howl?
She did. She was a beautiful singer.
Oh.
Oh, that's just wonderful.
I used to do the same thing for our little Bichon, Emily. Little Emily was our first dear love. And she passed away when she was 6 years old, but we didn't know she could sing until I was at a practice rehearsal for Riverside Theater for the summer music thing, and Marcia Hughes was there. And when Marcia opened her mouth, little Emily started. So she was an alto, and it was just wonderful. But so Emily started that from then. So.
That seems like the perfect song. I've had many dogs tell me that they aren't misbehaving also.
Cheddar would be one, right at the top of the list.
He never does anything wrong. Never does anything wrong. No. But Opie's our singer. He sings along, but only when the trumpet is playing. So
good thing.
Let's go back to the phones. 866-780-9100. Tom is on the line in Dubuque. Hi, Tom.
Hello.
Hi.
Tom.
What's your story, Tom?
I have my youngest daughter. When my wife was giving birth to her, my wife wanted the radio on in the delivery room. And when my daughter was born, a song came on, and it was Stevie Wonder. Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful?
Oh.
And she was beautiful. And what really hits home on this is the day she got married, that was the song her and I danced to that she picked out and surprised me with.
Oh, how dear is
It brings
that?
it brings the waterworks on every time I hear it.
I'm sure it does. Tom, that's beautiful. So that was a story she knew about herself her whole life. That's so lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when we danced to that at her wedding, I didn't want to let go of her.
Tom, thank
well,
you so
didn't
much
have
for sharing
to, Tom.
that. Yep.
Those heartstrings last forever, you know.
It's true. Tom, thanks so much for that call. You can join us with your love stories, your love songs. Give us a call at 866-780-9100. You can send email to talkofiowa@iowapublicradio.org. And we have actually a couple requests for this song, but I'm going to read this story. I don't have the name of the person who's requesting this song, but they say, my story is about my parents, Phyllis and Randall Byer. They met in high school, and then Dad left for World War II the next year. Oh. Mom had pretty much set her cap for him, and Dad was more than happy to oblige. They were married in May of 1947. They both passed away recently in 2022 and 2023 after 75 years of marriage, and their song was Irving Berlin's Always, and we kids feel like it truly was an always for Mom and Dad. We're celebrating Valentine's Day today with your love stories and your love songs and pianist and composer Dan Knight. This is Talk of Iowa from IPR News.
Black perspectives haven't always been centered in the telling of America's story. Now, we're taking center stage. Introducing NPR's Black Stories, Black Truths, a collection of Black-led stories from NPR's podcasts. Search NPR Black Stories, Black Truths wherever you get your podcasts.
It's Talk of Iowa from IPR News. I'm Charity Nebbe. This hour we are celebrating Valentine's Day just a little bit early. Steinway artist, pianist, and composer Dan Knight is here today. He is sitting at a keyboard provided by West Music in Coralville, and he's here to play your love songs. But you request a song with your love story. You can give us a call at 866-780-9100, 866-780-9100, or send email to talkofiowa@iowapublicradio.org. And Dawn in Cedar Falls is on the line. Hi, Dawn.
Well, hi, Charity and Dan. Hello.
Hey, Dawn.
It's so
Good
nice
morning.
to hear you guys.
What's the story you'd like to share
today? Yeah, it's a type of a story that is between a parent and a child, actually. I loved my parents so much. They were so proud of me. I became a worthy advisor in Rainbow Girls, which is the top station that you can acquire.
Yes.
And during the time that they brought me down to my station, we had my friend sing Turn Around by Harry Belafonte. Are you familiar?
Where are you going, my little one?
Oh.
Little one, where are you going? My baby, my own. Turn around and you're two. Turn around and you're four. Turn around and you're a young girl going out of the door. Turn around and you're a young girl going out of the door.
I'm sure there were a lot of tears. Dawn, thank you so much for sharing that story. And here's a story from Ruth in Bowling Green. She says, when I was growing up on a farm in northeast Iowa, entertainment on winter evenings was sometimes singing around the piano. Daddy had a lovely low bass voice, but chimed in only on music he knew. I made it a point to play Old Black Joe because he'd always sing, sounding wonderful and strong on the final low D. But I was nearly grown before I heard him sing Let Me Call You Sweetheart. Likely in the car, it was clear that he and Mom had sung it early in their lives together. They were married in 1933 during the Great Depression and were married for almost 60 years when he died in 1992. That was my grandparents' song too. Cheryl's on the line next in Urbandale. Hi, Cheryl.
Yes. I would just announce my age of 73 now, and I can appreciate my mom's idolization of Tom Jones. I got her to see in concert back in the day, but never Engelbert. Engelbert Humperdinck was really the guy for her.
You and my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law idolized Tom Jones, and it really embarrassed my wife for a while because she said, "Isn't his butt so cute?" And I'm like, "Oh no, Mom, you're not supposed to say that, Mom. No." But he could sing. He really had it together.
Yes, but she also loved Engelbert Humperdinck, which I didn't get her to see in concert. And that song of After the Lovin', I had to appreciate her taste in music where that song was concerned. Do you recall that song of Engelbert?
Oh, for sure. Boy, that takes me back.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I love the appreciation. A lot of us maybe don't want to think about our parents after the lovin', but...
Yeah, see, and this takes me, because I'm 70 years old, and I came to Iowa City in 1977, and the one job that I found was playing piano at the Coachman Inn. was an old Ramada Inn out in Coralville, and it's part of the site now where the Walmart is. But it was ancient history, and I sat there at the piano, and everything I played was just all this beautiful stuff. So you're taking me back to my roots, literally.
Let's go next to Rich on the line in Knoxville. Hi, Rich.
Hi, Charity. Hello, Dan. Good morning.
Good morning.
The song I like to hear is Bridge Over Troubled Waters by Simon and Garfunkel. In 1970, I was in the Army in Missouri, and I was driving back in the middle of the night to my son was being born. And I had a car with a bad alternator and no lights, and I was desperate to get to Des Moines. And on the radio came Bridge Over Troubled Waters. And
and it got you through.
Knocked me out.
It got you through.
Oh, Rich, thanks so much. Thanks so much for the call, Rich. You can call us 866-780-9100. BJ is on the line in Des Moines. Hi, BJ.
Good morning. Yes, I do have a song reminiscent of my sorority days at Drake University. We participated in a program called Sweethearts Sing, and it was an annual event. And the year I participated, we sang My Funny Valentine. And that has always resonated with me every time I hear it, especially this time of year. So could you please play My Funny Valentine?
Well, thank you for asking for this.
BJ, thanks for the call. 866-780-9100 is the number for you to call to share your story and tell us about your love song. Here's a request from within IPR, Dan. This is from our very own Tony Sarabia.
Hey,
says,
Tony!
I just marked my 5th year here in Iowa, moving from Chicago on February 6th, 2019. When I meet Iowans and they ask where I'm from and then ask what brought me here, I say, basically love. My now husband, Andrew, and I moved back to his home state, my now husband, Andrew, moved back to his home state in 2012 to take a job at Iowa Public Radio. We lived apart for 7 years before I took the plunge, not knowing what I'd do with my life once here. Well, here I am, IPR midday host, and Andy loves 70s rock and pop. So if I had to pick, I would pick The Things We Do for Love.
Oh, and Tony, we love you too.
Yes, we do.
We just do.
Eight 866-780-9100 is the number to call to share your story. Tammy is on the line in Amana. Hi, Tammy.
Hi, Charity.
Hi.
Hey, Tammy, good morning.
Good morning. I was calling, love the program today. My brother Mike was in Cincinnati, Ohio, and he was receiving extreme honors. My parents, unbeknownst to them, are celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary, and he brought out this massive wedding cake out onto the middle of the floor and had them come up and say, and they played "Someday My Prince Will Come."
Oh, that must have been quite a moment. They must have been so surprised.
Because they kind of did an elopement over 50 years at that time, and so never really had a wedding. And so to have all of their family, friends, and a lot of other people there to cheer them on.
Oh, that's wonderful. Tammy, thanks so much for the call. Mary in Green writes, my husband and I have been married for over 35 years. And when we dated, I would hear people say, this is our song. And I couldn't imagine. What did they do? Just pick a song and declare it as theirs? Maybe the song was playing at a significant time. Well, fast forward to our wedding, and I chose Groovy Kind of Love for our first dance. Much later, I was showing our daughters our wedding pictures, and they declared this to be our song. And I realized it always was.
Well, I have a story about that too, but that shall wait till another time. So.
I don't have a name for this one, but they say, my wife Sharon and I will be married 50 years next month. John Denver's song, Follow Me, was our wedding song, and she still listens to his music, and we start each day with a hug. All right, and I think we have time for one more. Sarah says, this is about my parents' love song. They were married in the summer of 1948 after my father graduated from college, but before he started medical school in Cincinnati, Ohio. Her father had agreed to the wedding on the condition that she would stay in school and finish her last year of college. During that year of separation, they would listen to the same radio program. Mom never told me anything about that program except for the theme song. She said that often he would begin his letters with, "I'm sitting here listening to Moon River." We are out of time, Dan Knight. Thank you so much for
we can't
coming.
be out of time.
I know. It happens every time, doesn't
Well,
it?
it's because we are timeless. We are timeless. And the music is timeless.
The music is
And
timeless.
the stories are timeless.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Dan, thank you for coming, and thank you for celebrating Valentine's Day with me
wouldn't have
today.
been anywhere else.
Pianist and composer Dan Knight, Steinway artist, and he's been playing today on a keyboard provided by West Music in Coralville. Talk of Iowa is a production of IPR News. I'm Charity Nebbe.